Hello, 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 hello. Welcome. So today we'll be starting with our direct tax in 50-page summary. So this is for May and November 24. So we'll be covering DT in about 40-50 pages. So our first chapter is your basic concepts and tax rates for assessment year 24 and 25. Now this chapter has a lot of amendments in this attempt. So please make sure you do watch these videos, and wherever there is an amendment I have just marked an A so that it is easier for you to remember that there is an amendment here, so you will be able to focus. Okay, so now basic is, first of all you have to remember it is your assessment year 2024 till 2025, that is your previous year 23 and 24. Now what has changed, sir? What has changed? Your section 115 BAC, which was optional till now, has now become your default taxation regime. Now what does that mean? If any question asks you to compute tax liability and it does not say anything, you have to compute tax liability as per section 115 BAC. That means if nothing is said, you have to follow 115 BAC. That is where these different slab rates were given. Okay, so 115 BAC, that is now your default taxation regime. For who all it is your default taxation? So your individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, and your AJP, that is your artificial jurisdiction personal. Okay, sir, is this for both resident and non-resident? Yes, both of them are included. Resident and non-resident, both of them have this scheme. Now next is, so there is a change in the slab rates also. Remember, this is not the same slab rates as earlier. So what you have to remember is, you have to remember the table of 3. So 0 to 3 lakh, 3 lakh to 6 lakh, 6 lakh to 9 lakh, 9 lakh to 12 lakh, 12 to 15, and 15 above. These are your 6 slab rates. Okay, so 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 15, and 15 above. How do you remember the slab rates? It goes from 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, and it does not go to 25, it becomes 30. Okay, so if you have to remember the slab rates, how do you remember? You remember 0 to 3, you remember 3 stable, stop at 15 and then go above 15. Then your tax rates are nil, 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%. They follow the 5% rule. And then after one over above 15 lakhs, your tax rate becomes 30%. Okay, now there are certain deductions that will not be allowed and certain deductions that will be allowed. So you have to remember which all deductions we will not allow under section under 115 BAC. So any interest under section 24B, that is when it is your self-occupied property. So which as per the normal scheme, that is which was the default earlier, it was allowed. Your section 24B interest will not be allowed. Any set off of any house property loss, that will not be allowed. Entertainment allowance, professional tax, leave, travel concession, house rent allowance, allowance for minor income, that is your rupees 1500 allowance that was given, that will also not be given. Then your 10AA section, that is your SEZ. 32(1)(2)(a) is your depreciation and your additional depreciation, plus depreciation is your additional depreciation. Then all your sections of 32AD, 33AB, 33AB, that is your T estate, etc., etc., those sections also are not allowed. Your 35(1) to 2A, 3, 35(2)AA, these are your sections of scientific research. Then 35 AD, 35 triple C, these will not be allowed. We will be studying these in detail in PGBP. For now, you can only remember the sections. Then is your family pension deduction. Deductions under chapter 6A. Deductions under chapter 6A will not be allowed. And allowance for any MP or MLA. All of these deductions will not be allowed. So while solving the question, you have to make sure that if there are any of these deductions, these are not to be subtracted. Okay, now sir, which deductions will be allowed? So your travel allowance, tour allowance, daily allowance, and conveyance allowance. If you see, all of these are related to travel. So travel, to daily, and conveyance allowance, all of these are related to travel. So all of these deductions will be allowed. Okay, now we discussed that 6A deductions will not be allowed, but there are 4 deductions. There are 4 deductions that will be allowed. That is your section 80 JJA. This was your employment section. Then your 80 CCD2, that is your extra 50,000 that you get. 80 CCH2 and 80 LA. Okay, so these are your four sections. This we will cover in chapter 6a. That video will also be uploaded. So these four sections deductions will be allowed. Otherwise, chapter 6a deductions will not be allowed. Okay. Next is, sir, do we get any rebate? Do we get any rebate? So rebate has also been included in this section. So if your total income is up to rupees 7 lakhs, that is less than or equal to 7 lakhs, if your total income is up to rupees 7 lakhs, okay, that is less than or equal to 7 lakhs, so you get a rebate under section 87A. Now what will be the rebate amount? It will be 100% of the income tax, 100% of the income tax that you calculate as per these slabs that we just discussed, or 25,000, whichever is lower. Okay, so that is your rebate. So 100% of your income tax or 25,000, whichever is lower. 25,000, 100% of your income tax. Next is your surcharge. Okay, so surcharge also is there. So if the income including dividend and capital gain, that is your section 11A, 112 and 112A, that is your short term and long term capital gain. If income including dividend and all of this is between 50 lakhs and 1 crore, so that means up to 50 lakhs there is no surcharge. But if your income is between 50 lakhs and 1 crore, then there will be 10% surcharge. Now surcharge, what is surcharge? Surcharge is tax on tax. That is, first you will compute how much is your tax liability. Say for example your tax liability came to 1 lakh, we will add surcharge 10% on 1 lakh, so your tax liability will become 1 lakh 10,000. So this is your surcharge, 10% and 15%. So if your income exceeds 1 crore, your surcharge will be 15%. That is 15% on your tax. So now there are some notes that you have to pay specific attention to. So while calculating surcharge, if the other income itself is more than 2 crores, if the other income, that means your income excluding this special income, that is of dividend and capital gain, if income other than this income is more than 2 crores, then your surcharge on other income will be 25%, because the government does not want to tax you on the special income, that is your dividend and capital gain, more than 15%. So they've set a rule that if your other income itself is more than 2 crores, then your surcharge percent on your other income will be 25%, and your surcharge on dividend and capital gain will be restricted to 15%. So this is what you have to remember. So what you have to remember, if it is between 50 lakhs and 1 crore, everything will be taxed at 10%. If it is more than 1 crore, everything will be taxed at 15%. If your other income is more than 2 crores, if your other income itself is more than 2 crores, that is not because of your special income, then in such a case your other income will be taxed at 25%, and this special income, that is your dividend and capital gain income, will be taxed at 15%. Next, if the assessor's total income is up to 7,27,770, so this is the amount that I have already calculated. If the total income is up to 7,27,770, he need not pay tax due to marginal relief provisions. When do you apply marginal relief? That is when your extra income is equal to extra tax. So if you calculate at this figure 727,770, your extra income will be just equal to the extra tax that you will be paying. That is because of your rebate. Okay, so you will get a rebate. So at such a case, remember this figure. If you see this figure, there will be no tax liability. Next, if the total income calculated without adjusting brought forward losses. Okay, so whenever we say total income here, total income is calculated without adjusting any brought forward losses. That is, any losses of previous years will not be set off while calculating the total income. House property loss can be carry forwarded but cannot be set off against any other head. So you can carry forward it in the next year, but you cannot set off your house property loss with your PGBP gain. It has to be only set off against your house property income. So HP loss can be carry forwarded but cannot be set off against any other head. Last point is AMT is not applicable. Okay, so alternate minimum tax, you do not have to take the tension. Next is standard deduction on salary is allowed, 11A, 112 and 112A will be taxable at special rates. So these special rates we have already defined in your capital gain chapter, your 10%, 20%, etc. So these will be taxed at special rate only. Great. Now we come to the optional tax regime, which was earlier the default tax regime, is now the optional tax regime. So under your optional tax regime, we have different slabs. So your HOF, AOP, BOI, AGP, that is your artificial jurisdictional person, for whom, for individual, and they have to be a resident. Whether resident or not resident, they come under this category. Okay, so what you have to remember is all your non-residents, whether of the age of more than 60 or more than 80 does not matter. If that person is a non-resident, what you have to remember, they will come under this slab. Okay, because over here there is no cross. These other two schemes of 60 and 80 is only available for residents. So if any non-resident has to follow this first slab. So 0 to 2,50,000 rate is 0%, 2,50,000 to 5 lakh rate is 5%, 5 lakh to 10 lakh rate is 20%, and more than 10 lakh it is 30%. There is no change in this. Okay. Now for individual residents who are aged 60 or more, if their net income is between 0 to 3 lakhs, only difference over here is 0 to 2 lakh 50, over here it is 0 to 3 lakhs. Okay, if you see, the rate still remains same, that is 5 lakh, 5%, 20% and 30%. Only the slabs have changed from 0 to 2.5, it has become 0 to 3 lakh. 3 lakh to 5 lakh is 5%, 5 lakh to 10 lakh is 20%, and above 10 lakh is 30%. Similar slab for individual residents. Remember, individual residents aged 80 or more. That means non-residents do not come under this category. So 0 to 5 lakh, their tax rate is nil. Basically, we've removed this 5% also, we have made it as 0. Okay, 5 lakh to 10 lakh it is 20%, and above 10 lakh it is 30%. So for only benefit that we've given them is this 5%, which is usually 5%, we have made it 0. Okay, I'll pause this so that you can remember everything we spoken, and then we'll move forward. So this was with regards to individuals. So you have to remember your slabs: 0 to 2 lakh 50, 2 lakh 50 to 5 lakh, 5 lakh to 10 lakh, and above 10 lakh. This is your normal slab. For others it is 0 to 3 lakh and 0 to 5 lakh. Great. So this was your individuals. Next comes your cooperative society. For cooperative society, it is 0 to 10,000, 10,000 to 20,000, and more than 20,000. And your tax rate is easy, that is 10%, 20%, and 30%. Okay, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, and 20 above, 10%, 20%, and 30%. That is your cooperative society. Next is your domestic company. So for domestic company, what you have to see, you have to see the turnover. You have to see the turnover or gross receipts, which year you have to see in previous year 21-22. That means assessment year 22-23 or previous year 21-22. You have to see if their gross receipts, if their gross receipts are equal to or less than 400 crores, this rate will become 25%. That means it will be taxed, their income will be taxed at 25%. However, if their turnover or gross receipts is more than 400 crores, if it is more than 400 crores, then it will be taxed at 30%. Okay, great. Next is your firm LLP local authority. So for firm LLP local authority, there is a flat rate of 30%. No income slabs. Whatever your income, multiply by 30%. And for foreign company, there is a flat rate of 40%. Okay, so these are all the slab rates that we've already covered. So we've covered individuals, we've covered cooperative society, we've covered domestic company, we've covered the first one, that is your default tax rate. And remember, this is now what we studied right now, this is your optional tax regime. So only and only when the question asks you that compute the minimum tax liability, then you have to check both of these methods. If the question does not say anything, please compute as per your default taxation regime, that is your section 115 BAC. Okay, now coming to calculation of surcharge. So for surcharge, if the person is a HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP, or individual, that means the first set of people that we spoke about, their surcharge rates have been defined as if your net total income is between 50 lakhs and 1 crore, then in such a case your surcharge rate is tax on tax. So 10% will be the surcharge charged on the income tax. So that is 10%. 1 crore to 2 crore is 15%, 2 crores to 5 crores is 25%, and more than 5 crores is 37%. Okay, so 10%, 15%, 25%, and 37%. How do you remember the limits? 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 1 crore, 2 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore, and more than 5 crore. 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 1 crore, 2 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore, and above 5 crore. How does the rate go? 10, 15, 25, 37. 10, 15, 25, 37. Okay, for your firm, LLP and local authority, if your net taxable income, if your net total income is more than 1 crore, that is 1 crore plus, it will be taxed at 12%. For domestic company and cooperative society, if it is between 1 crore to 10 crore, that means there is no surcharge up to 1 crore. So if it is between 1 crore to 10 crore, it will be taxed at 7%. And if it is more than 10 crores, it will be taxed at 12%. What you have to remember is domestic company, that is a company which is incorporated in India. So for them, your surcharge rates are 7% and 12%. While if it is a foreign company, so if you see the limits are the same, 1 crore to 10 crore and above 10 crore, but their surcharge is very little, that is 2% and 5%. Now why is this? If you remember, we studied, for them your maximum tax rate will be, for domestic companies it will be 25% or 30%, while for foreign companies this tax rate becomes 40%. Therefore, to compensate this, the surcharge for domestic companies is more. That is, it is 7% or 12%, while the same thing for foreign companies is 2% or 5%. Okay, so this is what you have to remember. Now coming to your marginal relief calculation, say for example, you have to compute the tax liability of a individual whose income is 5 crore 7 lakh and 30,000. So first you will be calculating it as per the slab that we checked above. So your tax liability will come to about 1.5 cr, that is 1 crore 50 lakh 31,000 and 500 rupees. Now if you see, this income is more than 5 crores. So if the income is more than 5 crores over here, we will put surcharge of 37% on income tax. So we did surcharge of 37%, which comes to about 55 lakhs. We added it, it comes to about 2 crores. Now we will see, if had I not earned, just for earning, because I earned this extra 7 lakh 30,000, why should I be punished for it? Why should I be punished by paying extra tax which is more than 7 lakh 30,000? It does not make sense. My extra income should not be more than the extra tax that I pay. Otherwise, what will I do? Sir, you keep this income, I don't want it. So your tax, you will see what would have been your tax liability had you not earned this extra income of 7 lakh 30,000. So tax liability on 5 crore comes to 1.48 cr. Now since you are in the other bracket, that is you are in the bracket of 25%, your surcharge is now 25%, and you calculate that it comes to 37 lakh 3,125. And you will see now, what if had I not earned this income? You take this entire income, I don't want it only if you're going to tax me on it. So you tell them that, sir, I earned 7 lakh 30,000 rupees extra. I earned this 7 lakh 30,000 rupees extra. I'm sorry, you keep it. Even if you keep this entire income, my total everything comes up to 1.92 cr in comparison to 2.05 cr. Now you tell me which one makes sense. Does it make sense that, sir, I just earned 7 lakh 30,000 rupees extra, but I still have to pay so much more? So therefore, your tax liability will come to lower of A or B. So that is your 1 crore 92 lakh is the lower figure. This is what we will be considering for tax purpose, and you will add a 4%. Do not forget to add this. 4% is your health and education cess. So 4% will be added, and which will get the total to 2 crores 15,450. Okay, so I hope marginal relief is clear, and we will quickly skim through the rest. Next is your rebate under section 87A. So rebate under section 87A, this you have to remember, is for resident individual only. It is not for non-residents, it is only for residents and only for individuals. So it is applicable when your NTI is up to 5 lakhs. If your NTI is up to 5 lakhs, if you remember in 115 BAC also we studied a rebate. Over there your it was applicable when it was up to 7 lakhs. Over here it is up to 5 lakhs. So rebate will be 100% of tax payable before HEC. Remember, it will be before HEC, before health and education cess, or 12,500, whichever is lower. Okay, 100% or 12,500, whichever is lower. And rebate you will get against all income. That will include your lottery, winning, etc., etc., but not section 112A. That is your capital gain 112A. Okay, so you will get against all income except section 112A. Now there are some things to note. If your date of birthday is on 1st April, your birthday will be deemed to be on 31st March because your financial year ends on 31st March. So if you are turning 60 just one day later, income tax gives you the provision that okay, you take the other slab rate for you. We will assume that on 31st March you were 60 years old or 80 years old, whichever. That is the only reason why this provision is there. Next is your health and education cess will be 4% on tax. Okay. So first you calculate tax, then you add surcharge, you get a tax amount, then you add 4% on it. That becomes your final tax liability. Then next is your NTI and tax to be rounded off to nearest 10. Income tax department does not want your spare change. They say please round it off to the nearest 10. Okay. Okay. Now this is just a small part of surcharge. So the same thing, surcharge where your total income include your LTCG 112, 112A, 111A and your dividend. Okay, this we studied earlier also. So there are basically four steps that you have to do. First you calculate surcharge on income. That means all your income include your 112, 112A, 111A, dividend and other income. That means your total income and calculate surcharge. If such surcharge comes more than 15%, that how do you see this table that we have studied right now? Okay, so we're talking about this one. So it says if the surcharge percentage comes greater than 15%, restrict it to 15% for 112A, 11A, 112 and dividend income. So these are your special incomes. These cannot be surcharged at more than 15%. Okay. So your other income will be surcharged at 25%, 37%. Nobody cares. But this income cannot be surcharged at more than 15%. So it has to be restricted to 15%. Calculate surcharge only on other income as per the slab. This is your step 3. That means if you had earned only other income, if you had not earned this special income, if you had earned only other income, what would be your surcharge percentage? Now, if your surcharge percentage in step 2, that means inclusive, is greater than your surcharge percentage in step 3, your step 3 surcharge will be your step 2 surcharge. Got it? Great. Now coming to our other special sections that have been introduced. So section 115 BAE, 115 BAA and 115 BAB. These are your three important sections. So 115 BAE talks about if your SSC is a manufacturing cooperative society. If it is a manufacturing cooperative society registered on 1st April 23 or later, they will have to pay surcharge at the rate of 10% fixed, HEC at the rate of 4% that everybody has to pay. Their PGBP income will be taxed at 15% plus 10% surcharge plus 4% HEC. Your IFHP, that is any income from house property or other sources, will be taxed at 22%, that is your income rate, plus 10%, that is your surcharge rate, and 4%, that is your health and education cess. Any special rate income, that is say for example your capital gain income 112, 11 AAA, that will be taxed at special rate plus 10% plus 4%. So what you have to remember, 10% and 4% you always have to do. Just these rates will change. So we'll cover other SSCs also in the same way. 115 BAE, 115 BAE talks about manufacturing cooperative society. 115 BA, 115 BA talks about your domestic company, and 115 BAB talks about your new domestic company. So this section is as good as redundant. Section 115 BAA, both of these sections are important. So if it is registered after 1st October 2019, you have to see surcharge is 10% in both of them. Your rate is 15% here and 15% here as well. So nothing special you have to learn for BAE and BAB. It is the same. Rate is same again, 22%, and special rate income at special rate income will be taxed as special rate plus 10% and 4%. Now there are some section benefits that will not be available if the SSE opts for these schemes. So your 10AA, that is your SEZ, 32 1A, 32 AD, 33 AB, ABA, 35 your research expenses, 35 2AB. So these are all your contribution to outside. Whenever for research, whenever you're contributing outside, these sections are not allowed. If you do in-house research, that will be allowed. 35 AD, 35 triple C, 35 CCP, all of these section benefits you will not be receiving. In chapter 6A, you will not receive. So under section 115 BAE, you will not receive section benefits of under chapter 6A from 80C to 80U. For 115 BAA, entire chapter 6A will not be available, and for BAB also entire chapter 6A deductions will not be available except one or two deductions. So we will see which are those deductions. You have to remember 80JJAA, that is your employment, your 30% extra employment that you used to receive. This is allowed in all three. Okay, so your BAE has 80JJAA. This one has 80JJAA, 80LA and 80M. All three of these are allowed. And over here 80JJAA and 80M, these two are only allowed. MAT and AMT is not applicable. Okay, so this does not have to be considered. And coming to our last part of this chapter, so these are your some other sections. So 115 BAD, this is your cooperative society, 22%, 10%, 4%. Benefits same as 115 BAB, and these are the sections. Then you have 115 BBE, that is your deemed income. Deemed income under section 68 to 69D. At times, some income, the income tax department will say that it is your deemed income. You need not go into details, just remember the tax rate. It will be taxed at 60% plus 25% surcharge plus 4% is your health and education cess, bringing the effective tax rate to 78%, and you will not get deduction of any expenditure. Next is the section 115 BBF, that is royalty from patents in India. Royalty from patents in India will be taxed at 10%, provided this special rate is only available only and only if 75% of the expenditure was incurred in India. Next is your section 115 BBG, that is your transfer of carbon credit. This will also be taxed at 10%. And last is your 115 BBA. This is a relatively new section that was added because of cryptocurrency. So that is transfer of virtual digital asset, that is called your VDA. Crypto, NFT, these will be taxed at the rate of 30%. These will be taxed at 30%. Loss carry forward will not be allowed next year. Loss cannot be carry forwarded. Loss cannot be set off against any other income. That means loss can be set off against income of VDA only in the current year, because we do not allow you to carry forward. We do not allow you to set off against any other head, and there will be no expense deductions. Say for example, if you take in a loan for this, or you've hired an external agency, no expense deduction, flat 30% on your income will be taxed. And with this we finish with this chapter, and I will see you in the next chapter, that is your capital gains.